Hey y'all, this is Paul Carter and this is my ePortfolio, and I'm going to give you a quick tour, walk through this to highlight some of the main things that are in here, but we will move quickly and just hit the surface level of everything as we just have the 15 minutes. So like I said, my name is Paul Carter and I live in Peculiar, Missouri. I am married to a beautiful woman named Megan. I graduated with my bachelor's degree from the University of Missouri, Kansas City in 2014. I am a sixth grade social studies teacher. I am now at a school, Woodland Spring Middle School, but I taught the last 5 years at Spring Hill Middle School, both in the same district. So a lot of the different things, you'll see those two schools' names on them. I'm going to kind of skip down as we're going through these, but I will say that I have taken a leadership role in my school even before I started this program, which my administrators pushed me towards giving this administration a try, and during this program I've learned that I have loved it. So I have 10 goals. I have 5 professional and 5 personal. My professional goals, I want to continue to be a lifelong learner, of course. I want to attain my national board certification for teaching within 5 years. I will be doing that right after I finish my master's. I'm going to become a school administrator within 10 years. I love being in the classroom, so that's where I'm going to be for now. I want to continue my education at some point, getting my PhD, but I said 20 years because I'm definitely not ready for that, I don't think, at this point. And then I want to continue to build relationships with my students and fellow staff members. Personal goals, I want to complete my graduate degree in less than 3 years. As long as I pass this, that will be done. And I want to begin my family with my wife, Megan, finish remodeling the house that we're living in right now within 5 years. I want to create a healthy balance between family and education because education can take over. And I, at some point, want to travel and to tour Europe within the next 10 years. Okay, so I'm going to skip down to my leadership philosophy. And let's hope it all loads up. Okay, so my leadership philosophy is here. I put a couple quotes in here that I thought kind of tell who I am, but my two leadership styles, I am a democratic, I have the democratic leadership style and the participative leadership style because my leadership beliefs are I believe in a sense of community, having the community kind of come around us as a school. I also believe in team decision making. I do not believe that the administrator should have the only say in the school. I feel like he should have a lot of teachers around him and leaders around him to help him make these decisions. And then, as I said, a participative leadership style because I believe in empowerment. I believe that creating a sense of empowerment helps create leaders. If I can create my teachers into becoming leaders of the school, it will make my job easier as well as make a huge difference for the kids. And that's what we're here for, is what is best for kids. And then I also believe building positive relationships. There's a quote, kids don't care about how much you know until they know how much you care. And I believe that with teachers as well, letting them know that I am there to help them and help them grow as a teacher and help the students grow as a student. And then there are my references as I quote in here. My 2 quotes are, people ask the difference between a leader and a boss. The leader leads and the boss drives. And I am there to be a leader. And then leaders don't create followers, they create more leaders. And I felt like these 2 quotes go very well with my leadership philosophy. I'm going to skip down to the resume. This is my updated resume that is in here. As I said, graduated from the University of Missouri, Kansas City. With my teaching certificate, grades 5 through 9 for social studies. And then here's my teaching experience. Like I said, Woodland Spring Middle School in Olathe, Kansas is where I am now. That's part of the Spring Hill School District. 6th grade social studies teachers. I am the announcer for all of our events, which started this past year. I'm also the director of the middle school play. And then the years before that, I was at Spring Hill Middle School, same district. Also 6th grade social studies teacher. My first year, I won the Horizon Award for my district. I was a student council sponsor. I coached football for a little bit, and then I'm the co-director of the middle school play there. I also teach at the Barstow School in Kansas City, Missouri during the summers and their summer camps. Here's some previous job experience, including some camps that I work at every single summer. My references are listed there. So then I'm going to go to my program of study. This is just stating kind of when I took all of the different things. I only ever took one class at a time. I took all semesters. And so I I always took 2 classes a semester, including in the summers. Those summer ones, man, they get to you. They're fast paced, but I feel like I enjoyed all of my classes. So here is the order that I took my program of study. So I'm going to jump down into some of these activities, starting with my annotated bibliography. Now I could be going through this for quite a long time, as there are 33 resources, but here I answered the 11 questions of like, why should a leader be concerned about mission and vision statements? You cannot lead. What I learned from the resources is that you cannot lead without knowing where you're going. And so having mission and vision statements definitely lead towards those. What ethics and professional norms should a school leader possess? Okay, well, they obviously have to be very ethical. They also have to have norms, professional norms. I go into detail which ones I learned about during my time researching these articles and annotating them. What does equity mean to a school leader? Once again, I answer that through out the reading because there are many different issues in this modern world about that we have to be worried about as administrators, and I kind of go through what an ethical leader should look like. Number 4 is, what is a school leader's responsibility towards inclusiveness? Okay, well, we have to include all kids. All kids need to be able to learn in a way that benefits them the most. And so as the leaders, we are responsible for giving these kids the opportunities. Number 5, why should a school leader be concerned about cultural responsiveness? Okay, once again, it kind of fits in the same thing of, hey, even though they have a different culture, they need to be able to fit in. Number 6, what is the school leader's responsibility as an instructional leader? Okay, well, they are that leader. They need to model to their staff what it is like to be a good instructional person. What opportunity should a leader provide for learning? All the opportunities that are needed, whether that is for the staff or for the students. How should a school leader involve his or her various communities? They should involve them heavily, in my opinion. Use the resources that are out there to help. How can external leadership support a school leader? This can be all sorts of different local governments and things like that, and they should definitely be supportive, and we should be supporting of them as the school. Number 10, how is a school leader involved in the operations and management of a school? Well, they are the leader in this. That I feel like I learned a lot during this question and this research, because I never really think about that side of things, is being the leader of the operations and management. And lastly, how does a school leader build professional capacity? And that is through professional development and things like that, as I go through and answer in here. Okay, super fast, I know, but it's a long document and I got to get through everything. As you'll see my actual full answers as you read that yourself. And then I'm going to actually skip all the way down here to my activity form. This one will be real quick. I have 182 hours, so quite a few, that I went through and shadowed or took the place of the administrator for elementary, district level, and then secondary. I focused on that as I am striving to be a secondary principal. We'll get into these list some of, or all of them, and kind of what they are, but I'll go into detail here right now as I'm going to go to the district activities in my slideshow. Okay, so category 1, what I hit is I was sent to St. Charles, Missouri. I was there for 3 days, lots of time, actually in 30 hours, and that's being there and bringing the information back as a district. They sent teachers from all levels together, and then we as a district started this PLC process. I'll be mentioning that a lot because the PLC process is large in my district. Here I was the new teacher academy with all the new teachers in the district. I was able to help with that. Managing organizational system. Okay, so I was part of the CI3T team, the district behavior task force, and we met a few times there to meet that standard. Collaborating with key stakeholders. I went to quite a few different board meetings, whether in person like this picture or virtually. Ethics and integrity, so category 5, I was able to do some email responses to community members for the COVID-19 pandemic. And then category 6, I put a case study in here where I worked heavily with district level people to answer, to solve my action plan. Now I'm going to jump to elementary. And so category 1, a lot of these are going to be virtual because I did these during the COVID-19 pandemic. So for this one, we were able to do the strategic planning process to meet this standard. Category 2, data collection for class placement. Elementary teachers would give information about students, and so then they were given a placement for the next year. This is managing organization systems. So this is creating, I helped, and like we did a pros and cons list of an alternate daily schedule so that they could get more intervention time in for their students. Collaborating with key stakeholders, part of a 5th grade transition meeting with over 80 families during a Zoom call, and I was a co-host with that with a principal. Once again, case study. This is get this child out of my room. I was the elementary principal, defending or making ethical decisions with integrity. And then the last one, education systems. We worked through the ALICE process for an elementary school, which I had not seen. I've only seen the ALICE part with secondary level. So I will jump to secondary, where I spent most of my time. So for the first category was a grand opening of the brand new school, planning that and implementing our plan and sharing our school vision and mission with all of the people and the community members that are there, having lots of one-on-one conversations with them about it. And then I have another category 1. This was a PLC weekly meetings. I was the head of the 6th grade PLC as well as a social studies PLC. And so I was able to lead, and our principal gave me that because I have been heavily trained in that area. And then I was the administrator on supervision duty for lots of different activities. I went to a veteran teacher evaluation meeting with Darcy Sly. I helped plan and then run and tear down our very first ever home sporting event. Happened to be a volleyball game, so there was lots of planning for that. I was able to attend an East Bay team sales as we were buying new uniforms for the new school and new athletic equipment. I was able to make a new master schedule for a school because we were at capacity and we needed to get less kids in the hallway. I was able to interact with a lot of community members and businesses and get donations for our school. I was able to attend a lot of different site councils to involve parents and community members. Another case study here where I worked on what would happen if there is a threat made online. I created a virtual way that teachers could assess themselves since administrators were unable to do that during the COVID-19 pandemic. I made an IEP process to make sure we were following that. I made a FAPE poster so we make sure we were following that as well. Here are my administrative verifications. These are the people that I spent the most time with. I worked with a lot of different principals and people from the district, but these are the most. Brad Wilson, the assistant superintendent. He went to St. Charles with me and helped me through the PLC process. My secondary principal is Rod Sprague, head of Woodland Spring Middle School. He was also the head of Spring Hill Middle School, so my head principal my whole way through. And then Jason Townsend, the head principal of Timber Sage Elementary School in my district. Lastly, I have my reflection, which I'll just go through this real quick, where I answered these questions here. I'm running out of time, so you'll just have to kind of read through this. But I definitely learned a lot during my time at Fort Hays and all of these classes that I took, and I kind of summarized what I learned. I feel that Fort Hays has done an amazing job preparing me to be an administrator in the future. I hope you enjoyed my ePortfolio. Let me know and contact me if you need any more information about any of these things, and I'd be happy to talk with you.